afternoon, everyone. I'm Jayshree Bhatt. I'm the Assistant VP for the Office of Professional Education and Workforce Development. It is our pleasure to welcome you to our next webinar, the Sustainable Table series that we've been doing this month. And this one is special because the food preparation team is going to be talking about the taste of Italy. So if you've ever thought about making pasta and wondered if is pasta healthy, pasta can be healthy as long as you put a lot of healthy stuff in it and minimize the amount of pasta that goes into your plate. That's what our food prep team will be showing you today. And today's special guest is Mr. Stuart Haniff. And he's right on the camera right now, and he's going to introduce himself briefly. And then right after our food prep team's demonstration, he will be back to show you all the operation of the food bank of RGV, the amount of work that it takes to serve the Rio Grande Valley the way they do. Take it away, Mr. Haniff.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I'm so thrilled to have you here with us virtually in our food bank of the Rio Grande Valley. You see behind me our facility. And just so thrilled to be partnering with UTRGV once again on this incredibly worthy project. And I look forward to chatting with you soon and giving you some firsthand insights about who we are, what we do, and what it looks like. So I'll definitely talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Haniff. So for those of you who are live right now and watching us, I would highly recommend that you actually subscribe to our channel on YouTube that you're watching on right now so that you won't miss out on any of the future reminders about any of our upcoming webinars. So without any further ado, I'm hungry, so I want to watch the Taste of Italy from our food prep team. Take it away, guys.
Hello guys, welcome back. This topic we're going to be talking about a taste of Italy. In this topic, we're going to teach you guys how to make your own pastas and sauces at home. And here with me is Gabby.
Hi everyone.
Okay, so I prefer making my pasta and sauces at home mostly because they're healthier and they're also cheaper.
Sure.
And so how about you teach us how to make some pasta?
Okay, so let's start with how to boil pasta.
Okay.
So it's very easy. Have you done it before?
I've never boiled pasta.
Okay, I'm gonna teach you how to do that today. So basically what you need, it's a large pot like this one, or even a bigger one. It depends on how much pasta you're cooking. We need water, of course, some salt, your pasta, of course, and colander.
Okay.
So first, what you want to do, you want to load up your pot with 6 quarts of water for every pound of pasta. And then I like to add some salt, 1 teaspoon of salt for every 6 quarts of water. But it depends on, you can adjust the seasoning, right? At the end as well. Okay. It all depends on how you like your pasta.
Yes.
Then you just have to wait until the water is boiling. Once the water is in a complete boil, you add your pasta and stir a little bit just to make sure that the noodles don't stick to each other or to the pot. And then you just have to wait until the pasta is cooked for around 10 to 15 minutes. It depends on the pasta that you're cooking. And well, I would recommend you to try it before removing it from the stove, just to make sure that the texture is right.
Another fun fact that I was reading yesterday about how to boil pasta is you can get the noodle, cut it in half, you can check the center, and if the center, there is still some white in it, that means it's still raw and you still need to cook it.
Great tip. Yes. So I would definitely recommend you to try it before removing it from the stove. And if the texture is right, then it is ready to be drained. So you just drain it using a colander like this. But again, I would recommend you to save
The pasta water?
Yes, like to scoop 1 or 2 cups out of this like starchy water, because this water works as a sauce thickener or to give pasta a little bit of moisture in case it gets too dry.
Okay.
So, and that's it. Here's our pasta. It has to look something like this.
Wow, that looks amazing. Now that you have some cooked pasta, how about I teach you one of my favorite recipes that I actually learned to make this week, which is the arrabbiata sauce.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
what do we need for that?
In the arrabbiata sauce, you need some tomato, carrot, onion, and some jalapenos. And with the arrabbiata sauce, actually, arrabbiata means mean or angry in Italian. So it's supposed to be, unlike marinara, it's supposed to be spicy.
Like the spicy version.
The spicy version, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so with
What
arrabbiata, since we're going to be using tomatoes,
Uh-huh.
tomatoes are very high in acidity, so we're going to use carrots because the carrots are very high in, they're actually natural sweeteners,
Uh-huh.
and it actually gives it a great taste.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds
so
good.
basically you have all your ingredients, you want them finely chopped.
Uh-huh.
You're going to add first the jalapeno into a pan,
Uh-huh.
so you can saute it for a few seconds. After a
Okay.
few seconds of sauteing the jalapeno, you want to add the onion.
Okay.
After adding the onion, you leave it for a few minutes to saute. Then you add all of the rest of the ingredients. You keep on stirring it, adding some pasta water, like you
The
said.
starchy water that we
Yes.
saved. Okay.
And then with that, it's going to give it a nice texture.
Uh-huh.
And you just add some garlic. And if you want, you can add oregano or parsley at the end.
I love it.
Okay, and after you cook it,
Uh-huh.
we should have our just we should have our final product with our pasta and our sauce. This is our first.
So you just cook the arrabbiata sauce and you mix it with the pasta that we
Yes,
prepared.
you can either add it on top of the pasta or you
Okay.
can mix it.
Okay.
It depends on everybody's preference.
Okay.
I like putting my sauce on top.
Uh-huh.
I also made another sauce, which is the spinach arrabbiata sauce, where it is the same process, but at the
Same
end,
ingredients?
same ingredients. You just add spinach, and here we have the final product for it too. This is our spinach arrabbiata sauce.
And why spinach?
Spinach is very high in iron, vitamin B, A, C, K, and E, and it also is high in calcium and magnesium.
Very
So
healthy.
it's very healthy. It's very nutritional.
Very good for our bodies.
Yes.
And it looks delicious.
Thank you. How about we continue making more sauce and we actually make a kale walnut pesto sauce?
Sure. For our kale walnut pesto, we need 1 cup of kale leaves, but we need to remove the ribs. That's like the first step. I'm just gonna show you very fast how to remove that. You can do it with a knife or with your hands. We remove this, Jose, because this is very thick.
Okay.
So we need to remove it before we mix it. We mix it with the rest of our ingredients.
And talking about nutritional facts about spinach, I also was reading that kale is very high in vitamin A, C, and K.
I love kale.
Yeah, and it actually said if you eat a cup of kale a day, you get all your antioxidants
That you need
needed
for the
day. Yes.
for the day. Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So after removing the ribs of the kale, we need to blanch it.
Okay. And what is blanch?
Well, you just need to boil it like for around 2 minutes just to make it softer because kale is you need to softer. You need to
To soften it up?
yes, to soften it up. So that's 1 cup of kale leaves. We need 1 cup of walnuts. We need some olive oil. We need basil, red pepper flakes, and I would add like 2 leaves of 2 basil leaves. So what we did, you just need to. Could you help me? Just, thank you. Okay, so we just basically need to add all our ingredients in a food processor or a blender. Here we have the kale. We add the, I'm sorry?
What do you need help with?
Oh, I'm gonna add the cup of walnuts. Yes. We can chop them just to help our processor, but I'm gonna put them like this right now. I'm gonna add all. And we add
Garlic.
two garlic cloves. I'm gonna add 2 basil leaves, fresh basil.
Okay.
And I'm gonna add,
Some olive oil.
yes, olive oil. I would also recommend like to try it first so you can adjust the seasoning. You can add more walnuts, more garlic. It all depends on how you like your pesto.
And your preference.
Yes. If you don't have a food processor, you could use a blender as well. So we just need to process this until we get a grainy paste like this. I don't know if you can see the texture. I'm gonna use a little spoon just to. Oh, well. A little spoon.
It's a little.
So he can see, and I love the color.
It looks very colorful.
Yes. Our pesto ready. We just need to. Here we mix it with some rotini. It's another type of pasta, but we like this presentation, so we use rotini, but you could use a spaghetti or any other type of pasta. And we added some basil leaves again, just to garnish.
That looks delicious, by the way.
Thank you. And it's very easy to do.
Yeah, I can see.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're gonna go up next with the bruschetta.
Okay, so bruschetta, it's a classic Italian appetizer. It's very fresh and it is extremely easy to do. It's like summer on a toast. It's delicious. You're gonna love it. So our ingredients are tomato. Here we have these are 2 tomatoes.
2.
Okay?
And they're core and chopped.
Yes.
Core and chopped.
We need toasted bread. We need balsamic vinegar. We need some olive oil and some salt and black pepper to season it. So first what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this bowl and I'm gonna add my tomatoes.
Okay.
Could you help me with the balsamic vinegar, please?
Yes. How much you want me to add?
You can just...
You tell me when.
Uh-huh. Go. Like a teaspoon. Yeah, around a teaspoon. And a teaspoon of olive oil, please. Please.
A teaspoon of oil.
Of olive oil. That's good. Thank you. I would suggest you to do this first before toasting your bread because that way you let the tomatoes like marinate for a while here. I'm gonna add some black pepper and red pepper flakes. Could you please add the red pepper flakes? This is delicious.
How much red pepper do you want?
Go ahead. I'll tell you when. That's fine. Yeah, it depends on how spicy.
How much spice you can handle?
Sure. So here we have our tomato mixture, and then you have to toast your bread. As we have mentioned in previous sessions, you can toast your bread using a toaster, but if you don't have one at home, don't worry. You can use a pan. You can just cook your bread for a couple of minutes on each side until it's like golden brown, and then it's ready. So once you have your bread ready, you have to brush on top of it some olive oil using a little kitchen brush like this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna
brush it.
Yes, with some olive oil.
That looks delicious. Just put that and soak with that.
Yeah. I'm thinking about our vinaigrettes from last session.
From last session.
Yeah. Okay, so we brush a little bit of oil, and now I'm gonna rub some garlic on top of each bread. This gives a very nice flavor.
Gives it a flavor?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could just rub it.
Don't forget this step, it's important. So here we have it. And then using a spoon, you just have to top your bread with our tomato mixture. Oh, I think I need a...
We have a presentation.
Okay. Could you help me with some basil leaves? This one. Well, we have one there. We could use it to garnish.
If you want, we can show the final presentation.
Sure, but this is another way of
preparing it?
Yeah, like of serving it. Okay, just in the middle.
Basically?
Yes. Yes, perfect. Okay.
Yes, perfect.
So you could either serve it like this, or if you're with friends, you could just put the toast like plain and just like the tomato on a bowl, so everyone can top their own bread. And we have another presentation. You can cut your bread as you want, and you can use different types of bread. Here we have another presentation. So we just cut the bread differently, but the process is exactly the same. So what do you think? Would you try it?
I want to try it.
You have to try
I
it.
will try it.
And it's very easy, right?
Yes, it's very easy. No time. That's not time consuming.
Not at all.
But very quick. Okay, talking about bruschettas, how about we do a pizza?
Pizza?
Yes, pizza. And we're going to be using some vegan naan bread. And naan bread is very common in Southeast Asia.
Okay.
Let me bring the bread real quick. We use the skillet. Yeah, you can either use a skillet or the oven to toast your.
So what type of bread is that one, or what type of?
It is naan bread.
Oh, it's naan bread. Okay.
Naan bread, yes. And we're actually going to be using.
Where can we find this naan bread? Tortilla.
You can find this naan bread in every grocery
any
store.
grocery
Yes,
store?
any
Okay.
grocery store. We're actually going to be using our arrabbiata sauce.
The one we previously
just previously prepared.
Okay.
And this is what we have.
Is that the spinach arrabbiata sauce?
Yes,
or?
this is the spinach one.
Okay, we could use either, right?
We could use either or.
Okay.
And we're actually going to use arrabbiata sauce. And we
Perfect.
have some of our toppings for our pizza, which is going to be some jalapenos and mushrooms, which we previously cooked them since we were not going to use a stove. We used the skillet. We wanted to pre-cook our ingredients. We have jalapenos. And
Could we add like bell peppers or any?
yes, you can
like
add any veggies that you
right?
want. Yes, and we're also going to add some spinach because one, they're delicious, and they also it's going to give it an amazing flavor.
Nutritionally powerful.
Yes.
We could even add tomatoes.
Yeah. We can also add some tomatoes. I'm going to add the arrabbiata sauce to the naan bread.
Okay. For how long did you cook the bread? Did you put it on the?
Yeah, we put it on the skillet. It's very toasted. It's very toasted on each side. It's everybody's preference how they want the bread. If they want it either to be softer or
Perfect.
if they want it to be more crispy. Yes.
Perfect.
And here
Looks so good.
have the sauce.
Like our healthy version.
Pizza, yes.
Perfect.
We're
Do you
also,
want me to take this
yes.
out of the way?
We can add some mushrooms and some jalapenos.
I think this is something you can do like with your family.
Yeah, this is
this
something
weekend or...
you can do this with your family, friends, even all these recipes you can do with your family, friends, even romantic with your partner. You can also share. You can prepare a meal.
Pizza.
Yes.
With pasta.
Yes, and this to me this looks delicious. This is one of my favorites.
Are we gonna add spinach?
Oh no! This is actually the spinach arrabbiata sauce.
Yeah.
So you already have spinach on it.
So
Okay.
that we just got it.
Yeah, this with the spinach arrabbiata sauce, I cooked the arrabbiata sauce and I added spinach into it.
Great.
And now we added it here to our naan bread, and we added our toppings, and this is our pizza, homemade
Looks
pizza.
really
Yes.
delicious. I would add some pineapple.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Jose.
So thank you guys for tuning in with us. We hope to see you guys our next session, which is going to be taking the mystery out of rice, and that is going to be next Tuesday, 4/20 at 5:30 p.m. And now we're going to be handing it off to our guest speaker, Stuart Haniff, the CEO of the RGB Food Bank.
Thank you.
Partnership and segue than talking about sustainable tables, because really the food bank RGB is not your traditional standard food bank just giving out food. We're trying to build sustainability and capacity, not just here in our facility, but for our community. And speaking of our facility, I'm standing smack dab in the middle of our 112,000 square foot warehouse. This is sort of the epicenter or the nerve center of everything that happens in our facility. And this is actually a very unique building. I'm going to get you a chance to see exactly what I mean by that. But we started here in 2012. This building that I'm in, though, is actually a historical landmark because it's been here since the 1930s. Originally, this was a fruit packing facility, a fruit packing house where growers and farmers bring their products here, ship their products here, truck their products here. We'd sort it, they would sort it and distribute it out. And it's actually very fitting because our facility is really the produce hub, not just of Texas, but the entire United States. We are part of Feeding America, the largest domestic hunger relief organization in the country. We are one of 200 member food banks, and we take a lot of pride in the fact that we are the cradle of produce, not just for Texas, but for the whole US and the whole Feeding America network. Our location, our access, our partnerships ensure that almost 50% of the product that we distribute are fruits and vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables. And why I'm so excited to be talking to you today with this focus and emphasis on health and nutrition, it completely parallels what we do here at the food bank, because we're not just focused on output, but rather outcomes, breaking the cycle of hunger, breaking the cycle of poverty, and lifting our residents, families, those in need here in the Rio Grande Valley from hunger to health through nutrition. So we're going to take a little walk, and I'll show you a little bit about our facility while I tell you about who we are and what we do. Our food bank has been around since, well, more than 3 decades. We're in our 36th year. We've been in this facility, as I said, since 2012, and we are the largest charity in South Texas. We partner with 275 agencies. So when I say agencies, I mean soup kitchens, shelters, daycare centers, pantries. This is the distribution center. All the food that you see behind me, our canned and dried goods, our produce, our proteins. This is the sorting center. The food comes in, and then we send it out. And between our network and the drive-through emergency pantries, which we operate here at the food bank, we provide food now in this time of COVID to 7 times more people than we did before the pandemic. Emergency food assistance has risen 7-fold. So prior to COVID-19, we were feeding about 64,000 men, women, children, seniors, veterans every single week. That number currently sits at about 118,000 or 19,000 people per day. You see the food behind us? You see our racks? We run very efficiently. Typically, in non-pandemic times, we have the benefit and the support of volunteers. And volunteers are critical to what we do. They're so vital, in fact, that 1 volunteer hour saves the food bank enough to provide 105 meals. Now, one of the challenges that we faced in the midst of COVID was that it was not just a health crisis, but a financial one as well. And while our mission is to make sure that we end food insecurity in the Rio Grande Valley, our top priority is always safety. So we were one of the first food banks in the state of Texas to actually close volunteer opportunities to the public. This created, as you can imagine, a huge gap in the work that volunteers normally do. We've been extremely blessed to have the benefit, the support, and the hard work of more than 30 Texas Army National Guard men and women for over a year now to help fill that gap. They help sort product, they help pull orders, they help build emergency food bags, which I'm going to show you in just a second. And they're on the front line for our distributions. We don't actually do direct service. We supply and reinforce our partner agencies with food so they can feed people, they can give out food, but we do have our drive-through emergency pantries, which we've branded as our DTEPs. We run those every Wednesday here at the food bank, 724 North Cage Boulevard in FAR. On the first Wednesday of the month, I'm glad that I have Rosie filming me, otherwise I would have taken a header into all this product. For the first Wednesday of the month, from 7 until 10 a.m., our DTEP is geared specifically for seniors, 60 years older and above. The second and fourth DTEPs of the month on Wednesday are for our general public. And the third is something that we started, which we're very excited about, is called our Meals Under Moonlight. This is geared towards working families, families that are normally maybe not able to come because they're at work or they're taking their kids to school. And these distributions, which are normally 7 to 10 a.m., this third one of the month is actually from 5 until 8 p.m. So we flip it on its head so we can try to reach more people as effectively as possible. These are our emergency food bags. We have different sizes, different quantities, but these can feed a family of 4 from anywhere to 7 to 14 days. These are shelf-stable products, pastas, rice, beans, canned goods. We supplement that with our fresh produce, protein, dairy, and when we have them, our farm-to-family boxes. The one common thread or overriding theme for everything that we do is we focus on health and nutrition. Beyond just giving out healthier food, we have a whole nutritional education department. that talks about meal preps, like the delicious meals and recipes we were hearing about today. We have healthy demonstration cooking classes. We have recipe sharing. All of this is to emphasize the importance of ending health disparities here in the Rio Grande Valley. Not just having people go to bed with full stomachs, but waking up tomorrow healthier than they were before. And we see the health disparities. We see the social determinants of health, which are so rampant in the Rio Grande Valley. We have a unique opportunity and the resources to directly impact that. On our facility, we are also so proud to have our very own garden and farm. Our garden provides and grows fresh produce and vegetables, not just for us, but for our community partners. They can use this as a social enterprise. It's a teaching lab. It's a way for people to learn how to grow and prepare and harvest and sometimes sell what they grow and their own product. Our farm is no different. We have chickens, we have ducks, we have eggs, we have product that we can share with the community so that they learn how to eat healthier and how to make healthier decisions. The other great thing about our model and what we do is, with our garden and our farm, we encourage and teach healthier eating habits. We realize it's not just enough to give people food, we have to show and educate them and teach them the best way to use those foods. So you see, this is just one of our many aisles. You see the products stacked high. In the advent of COVID-19, we've seen our pounds per week skyrocket from 300 to 600,000 to 900,000 to now well over 1 million pounds of food every single week that come in and go out of our warehouse. You've been able to manage the capacity because we focused on being sustainable, not just healthier eating and healthier eating choices, but making sure we manage the food on hand. When you look around, you see that we're pretty much stocked to the rafters, but we're also mindful. People don't just have to eat today. They have to eat tomorrow and in the weeks and the months ahead. And one of the big challenges about COVID is the uncertainty, the unknown. There's so many things that we just don't know what will happen, how it will happen, or when it will happen. So our job is to get the food in, get it out to our partners, distribute it here on site, and make sure that we manage our capacity so not only that we clear the lines today, but in the future. This is just a glimpse. Natural lights, the roof, which is all very unique, and in this day and age, just completely unheard of. And this is, like I said, a historical landmark. We're one of the few food banks in the Feeding America network. In fact, I don't know another one of our 199 sister food banks that have their own very own caboose in our garden and in our farm, which is also a historical landmark. We have a cotton gin. This is truly a unique facility. The most unique thing of all is because we're here, because of the work our 68 strong food fighters and food bankers do every day, we make sure that the Valley has the food they need today and the food that they will need for tomorrow. I'm thrilled to answer any questions. If there's anything I haven't covered and you'd like to know more of, please let me know. And in the very near future, we look forward to opening our doors to the public and giving tours. You know, really, you understand what we do when you're part of what we do. That's why we encourage volunteering. When you actually touch the product that's going to a family in need, and you know that the people that get it right after you've put it together, you are not just providing life-sustaining food, but in many cases, life-saving food. There's no greater feeling, no more gratification than that. As I said, we're the largest charity in South Texas. We've been around for 35 years, and we're going to be here until hunger is not. We don't just say that we feed the body, we say that we feed the body, the mind, and the soul here at Food Bank RGV. And as I said, if there are any questions, I'd love to take those now. And thank you again so much for the opportunity to spend a few minutes with you today on this great, wonderful, sustainable table seminar.
Mr. Hanif, thank you so much for sharing such eye-opening, information about your facility there. It was really interesting to learn that it's such a, it's a historical landmark as well. A lot of people don't know that, There is a question. Someone wants to know, how can they volunteer? I know it's COVID time, but yeah.
That's a great question. So our goal as a food bank is to eventually return to full 100% volunteer support. I want to do that gradually, incrementally, in the interest of safety, to make sure that we manage any potential risks as carefully as possible. So with that in mind, beginning in the month of February, we're going to open up our volunteer opportunities. I'm sorry, into May. Why did I say February?
February is already over.
I know. Can you tell COVID has taken a toll on me? I don't even know my months anymore. In the month of May, poor Rosie's like waving at me. No. Everyone, if you're out there, say hi to Rosie, because before she got here, I was at the mercy of my hand holding this camera. It's much smoother. So beginning May 4th, in fact, we're going to open up our volunteer opportunities gradually, and we're going to start at 20%. If that goes well, we're going to continue to grow 40, 60, 80, and my goal, my hope is by the end of the year, by the holiday season, to return to full force with 100% of our volunteer forces in-house. Now, the way you can find out more about this is to visit our website, www.foodbankrgv.com, click on our volunteer link, sign up. Right now, we only have volunteer opportunities for our drive-thru emergency pantries, and we've kind of limited that to our core volunteers. There's only about 20 to 25 per week that are needed, and these are the folks that have the most experience coming here. They know the protocols, they're familiar, and we're going to continue with that until May, not February. Once we resume in May, we're going to have stations. We're going to follow all of the same CDC health and safety protocols, social distancing, limiting the number. We check temperatures, masks, gloves. I don't have a mask on because it's lunchtime and our staff is not here. So it's pretty much just me in here, me and Rosie at a very safe distance. So if you want to find out about volunteering, please check back with us at the beginning of May, click on our link. And for the most updated information about what we have going on, where our distributions will be, all the exciting things that are happening now and will definitely be happening in the future, please follow us on our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And one last plug, if I may, our website, we've launched a spectacular COVID relief food fund for 2021. And I say it's spectacular because every single dollar raised will help support those families, those residents, seniors, veterans, children here in the RGV that have been impacted by COVID. Now, what makes it even more extraordinary is we have an incredible, generous, anonymous donor who will be doubling every single dollar donated up to $80,000. What that means is typically $1 provides enough healthy, nutritious food for up to 5 complete meals. With our match, with our wonderful donor, that now skyrockets to 10. There's nowhere you're going to find in this valley or maybe anywhere where $1 will provide 10 meals. But if you make a donation to our COVID Relief Food Fund 2021 on our website at www.foodbankrgv.com, you can make that happen. And as I said earlier, there's never been a more important time to donate. There's never been a greater way to donate and a greater impact to donate, because your dollars now will result in meals that are not just life-sustaining or life-changing. In many cases, they are life-saving.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hanif. We really appreciate you taking the time to give us a tour, share information, and also encourage people to volunteer as well. So we appreciate that. So just so that people know, we are talking about partnering together so that you guys do, use the resources that you have, and we have our food prep team that will be showing people how to prepare these meals. A lot of times there is this myth that people think that if you have limited dollars to spend, it has to go to a fast food, and that's not the case. And our food prep team is all about that. They're showing people how to prepare these simple, easy to make, delicious meals using inexpensive products that they can buy locally, source locally, and use a lot of fresh produce. Did you have something else to share? I know you moved on to another area. Was there anything else that you wanted to share?
No, I really appreciate the opportunity. We're so grateful to be able to share our message with all of the folks that are part of your team and on this webinar today. I mean, when you pan around and you look at this facility, it's really incredible the amount of food that comes in. And I would say the food in doesn't really do its own good. It has to get out. And the amount of product that we move in and out every day, and you're just getting a glimpse, just a little bit of a snapshot of all that we do in here. And as I said, we're a team of 68 strong. We have 34 National Guard. Our staff is coming back to work now. Please, once we open up for tours again, you really need to come and visit. Beyond the fact that, as you said, it's a historical landmark, you really can't imagine and understand and get the impact of what a food bank does and what we, as the Food Bank of the RGV, does, unless you can actually witness it and physically see it for yourself. So please stay tuned. Please keep us in your thoughts. And if you want to spread our message or be an advocate on our behalf, we are so grateful for that. If you know people who need food, let us know. If you want to help people that don't have food get food, please reach out to us as well. And I promise you, when you come and you take a tour and when you volunteer, both will be experiences that will change your life.
No question about that. So thank you all for joining us today, and continue to think about eating healthy. Spread the word, share with your family, share the video as well. And if you all try any of the recipes that were demonstrated today, make sure to come back and put a comment on the YouTube video. We would love to see you guys back again next Tuesday. We have about a couple of more weeks left, so we have some more interesting and fun stuff coming up. Join us, spread the word, and have a safe and healthy weekend. Thank you so much.